I wasn't quite ready to start this live stream, but apparently it's just decided to start. So hello, I was making a cup of tea, and I haven't even set my lighting up yet. So hello, welcome back to the channel. I have not been live in a moment, mostly to do with YouTube playing silly with all the after bits that you don't need to know about. That's really, really boring. So hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going live today because I really want to talk about Meghan's rebrand. I'm sorry, the camera is a little bit wonky. It's a bit janky wonky. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. I haven't even got my little light on in the corner. Oh, never mind. Sometimes, as Ariana Grande would sing from Wicked, these things are sent to try us, aren't they? So I need to log out of my other channel and go back into Royal Reviewer for a moment. So yeah, Meghan has rebranded and all is not as it seems, I have to say. She's been telling porkies and her nose has grown at least another couple of inches overnight, let's just say. So whilst I'm furiously trying to set up properly, and I'm going to go in a moment and make my tea, hopefully we can chat amongst ourselves for a moment. Yeah, the rebrand, as ever. Well, as if is what I say about that. As if, because she claims that this is why I think her nose has grown exponentially overnight. So she claims, this is Meghan Markle's damage limitation at its finest, I have to say. She claims that As Ever has been a name that she's chosen as a brand, whatever, since 2022. Now, I'm calling her out on this entirely because she was fully prepared to go ahead and steamroll ahead with American Riviera Orchard. Remember, she launched the Instagram account and she was told legally that she couldn't trademark or use that name because of whatever reasons. I'm not a legal expert, but she was told legally that she was not able to use that name. It couldn't be trademarked, blah, blah, blah. So in true Meghan fashion, she had to do a complete U-turn and have a rethink. So I think probably with the help of Netflix, she very, very quickly came up with As Ever. Now, if she is telling the truth, and that's a big if, I know you can stifle all of your laughter right here, but if she is telling the truth, that she's had that name sort of in the background since 2022, it also begs the question, what was she going to use As Ever for? Was it going to be for something else? Or does she just spend her days locked up in Snake Mountain in Montecito, planning and trademarking just random names that she might use in the future? So it's either she's completely, fabricated, her nose has grown with little twigs and leaves on it, Pinocchio style, and or she was going to use this for something else, and then she suddenly thought, oh, I need to now use it for my brand because Netflix wants to put the show out, and I need a brand right away. I can see Deb is in the chat room, so hello to you, Deb, who says, tell the truth, laughter, laughter, laughter face. Yeah, I don't think she's telling the truth. I think this is a rush hatchet job, and I think Netflix has had a huge, 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 huge helping hand in it. Right, so whilst I finish off making my tea, I'm going to turn the camera around. Ooh, hang on. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can... I can hear myself in the screen. What I'm going to do is be quiet for a moment, and I'm going to play Meghan's video so that I can hear it, because I've read the words, but I haven't heard her say it. And sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes words that you read differently to how somebody might say something and the mannerisms that they use. So I'm going to be silent for a moment and I'm going to play, if you can stomach going to Meghan's Instagram account, then she's crouched on the floor. And I'll do an audio description. Hang on. There she is, look, she's crouched on the floor. Harry's filming. There's probably Lilibet running around in the background somewhere, I don't know. And she doesn't look like she's got a stitch of makeup on. And she's got that white shirt on again. It's probably just the same shirt. She got shares in white shirts. Has she got that tank watch on again? Oh, I think so. Wearing jeans, very dressed down, classic Meghan. I'm just like everybody else, honest. So anyway, I'm going to be quiet, make my tea. I'll let this play so you can hear it.
So I can't wait for you to see it. Thanks, guys.
It's recording.
Okay. Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long. In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for. And also my business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about. Last year, I thought, you know what, American Riviera, that sounds like such a great name. It's my neighborhood, it's a nickname for Santa Barbara, but it limited me to things that were just manufactured and grown in this area. Then Netflix came on, not just as my partner in the show, but as my partner in my business, which was huge. I thought about it. And I've been waiting for a moment to share a name that I had secured in 2022. And this is the moment. And it's called As Ever. As Ever essentially means as it's always been. And if you followed me since 2014 with the TIG, you know I've always loved cooking and crafting and gardening. This is what I do, and I hadn't been able to share it with you in the same way for the past few years, but now I can. So as things are starting to trickle out there, I wanted you to hear from me first. Of course, there will be fruit preserves. I think we're all clear at this point that jam is my jam. But there's so many more products that I just love that I use in my home, and now it's time to share it with you. So I can't wait for you to see it. Thanks, guys.
It's recording.
Okay. Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this.
Oh, let's turn her off. Hang on a minute.
Weeks,
Hang on.
My show is coming out, which I'm so excited for, and also.
Right, let's turn her off. I can't be doing with her. Right, hang on. There we go. Right, so what did you think about that then? My goodness. Nose has grown at least 10 inches overnight, I'd say, after all those little porcupine fibbies. Don't you think? Let's go to the live stream and see what people are saying. Lisa says, I'll watch the replay. Oh my goodness. Right. There we go. I've got my tea now, so I'm sorted. I can stay on here for... I'm fueled. I can stay here for a while now. Right. So, Meghan. Nose has grown at least 10 inches. So, let's have a look. I'm going to reread what she says and we'll sort of dissect it a little bit. So, some of you may have heard whispers about when I... Whispers? Has there been? I mean, we all knew that she was having legal issues with the branding, so we knew she was going to have to come up with something different. So, is that what she means? I don't know. In 2 weeks, my series on Netflix launches. Well, of course, let's not forget it was supposed to be weeks ago that it launched. It was only because of those horrendous fires that it was deemed inappropriate and pushed back. But there's something else I've been working on, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to As Ever. I don't think we are quite as thrilled to be introduced to As Ever as she is introducing us to As Ever. And as I said, it's more like as if. I mean, honestly, as ever, as it's always been. Word salad at its finest. A brand, now this is where her nose starts to grow. A brand that I created and have poured my heart into. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Tea went down the wrong way. I don't think she has had a lot to do with this at all. I think it's mostly Netflix that have had a lot to do with this. It means it's as it's always been. Well, if we go by as it's always been, we always know that she has been a grifter. So it's just more grifting again, isn't it? As ever, Meghan the grifter. In the same way as always, if you followed along since my days creating the TIG, you'll know this couldn't be true of me. So she's trying to justify the whole business slant by saying, well, in the day before I met Harry, I used to do the TIG, home, lifestyle, aspirational living, all the rest of it, which is true. She did do that. But what she's doing now is capitalizing on the worldwide fame. Now, I'm not saying being in Suits, it didn't go out around the world. I'm not saying she wasn't known around the world, but it wasn't huge. I think Suits was always bigger in the States than it was, for example, in Europe. we did get it, but I mean, I certainly didn't watch it, and I don't think anyone that I've spoken to didn't watch Suits. I think it's become a little bit more popular since it was put on Netflix, I think, recently. But at the time when she met Harry, she was limited. There was a sort of ceiling with being just an actress on Suits, which is why she set her sights on something bigger, something grander, which is why she had that meeting with Piers Morgan. And then she met Harry the next day, and then she ditched Piers Morgan because obviously something bigger and better and sparklier and shinier and richer and powerful had come along. So the difference is, I think she was stuck before she met Harry. And she didn't know what to do. She didn't have that level of fame to take the TIG and the social media influencing to the next level. Since sort of, Harry and Meghan stepping away from the royal family, having that global platform that they had, which they have spectacularly harpooned since leaving, she now has a much, wider reach. So it's now capitalizing, going back to square one, off the back now of that global fame, that notoriety that she has gained from being and then leaving the working royal family. So it is a little bit different now than what it was then. So I think, Meghan trying to sort of, whitewash over things, trying to paint over the cracks by justifying it, it's not washing, and it certainly isn't washing with me. The new chapter is an extension of what has always been my is grifting. Thing called baggy clothes. Beautifully weaving together everything I cherish. Home wrecking? Food, gardening, entertaining, thoughtful living, and finding joy in the everyday. My love, if you found joy in the everyday, you wouldn't have left the royal family, would you? Because there was so much to be joyful for when she was a member of the royal family. She had a secure, paid-for roof over her head, access to a fleet of royal cars, security, freedom to go on holiday. And this passport business, it's a load of nonsense. They could go wherever they want on holiday, whenever they want. She certainly went to New York to have her baby shower when she wanted. So that's a complete load of nonsense, madam. Madam, if you're watching, Meghan, load of nonsense. Right. Let's get that straight. Next, they had charities, organisations. They were given prominent Commonwealth roles. There was so much to be thankful for, and so much more yet to do. So she does not find joy in the everyday. Far from it. She always has these little peepers, those beady eyes, on the next prize, on the next step. And when she realised that there was a ceiling, she couldn't be content. There is no contentment in that woman. She'll never be content. And because she can't be content, she'll never, ever, ever find happiness and joy in the everyday. That is completely out of Meghan's reach. Honestly. I will keep sharing behind the scenes tidbits with you. Oh, please don't. Please don't. Meghan, love. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Meghan, look at me. It's not noise. Please don't share anymore. Okay, I will keep sharing behind the scenes tidbits with you here as we ramp up to launch. And I can't wait for you to get your hands on everything we've been creating. I'm going to sit on my hands, I think. Sending lots of love, as ever, Meghan. Oh, what a load of complete nonsense, honestly. I'm going to go back to the live chat and see what people are saying. Let's have a look. As ever. Oh, by the way, there's also, I did a quick, because I wanted to see if there was a website set up for As Ever. So I did a Google search. There are other brands and businesses with As Ever in. I think there's the one that came up first, I think, was As Ever New York, or New York As Ever. Trust me, there are going to be a lot of brands that share a similar name that are not going to be very happy. So I'm calling it now. There is going to be legal action from certain brands, basically trying to stop her from using that, because that woman does not have an original bone in her body. She really does not. Just think of all the things that she's copied and ripped off over the... I mean, even that bench book was a rip-off of somebody else's book. And also, since this has leaked, regular people have gone on and taken all of the user handles on Instagram and probably X as well for as ever. So she's probably going to find it difficult to get an account now that just has as ever on it. But maybe she'll steamroll her way through. I don't know who she keeps, treating to things at these high places, but she certainly seems to get away a lot, doesn't she? I think it used to be called the casting couch back in the day, didn't it? Joe is laughing, saying she's so deluded. Christine says, yeah, the royal family wasn't enough for her. It wasn't. It simply wasn't. That is the crux of the issue. And then she played on Harry's deep-rooted insecurities with what happened to his mother and the press issue surrounding that, plus sort of being with despair. And by the way, there is a new book coming out from people that have worked, like staff members, royal household members, that have come. I read a little bit of a tidbit of it that said that Harry was pretty, he didn't think about being the spare until Meghan came along and made him aware of it. Because I think Meghan could see, certain things with William being geared up to take on that role that he now has as Prince of Wales. And of course, now, looking back, now that we know how things have played out with the death of Elizabeth II, we know that it was right for the royal household to prepare Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, as he was then, to be the Prince of Wales when Queen Elizabeth passed away and his father became King Charles III. So it was wholly right that William was being treated a little bit differently, because his life, it was going to be very different. And I think that's where we got the emergence of that phrase, being on divergent paths, and we could see the cracks from the Royal Foundation when they were sort of all trying to be a foursome. All of the clues and everything was there. So, well, yeah, Christine, Meghan couldn't have William because he was already taken. Didn't she have a poster of him on a wall or something? Yeah, she wanted Big Willie. She wanted a bit of Big Willie style. That's what she wanted. And in the end, she ended up with the spare. And I think to Meghan, that was forefront of her mind, was that she got second best, which is a horrible way to look at the person that supposedly you want to spend the rest of your life with. It doesn't really bode very well, does it? So once she realised, well, I'm only ever going to be a Duchess, I'm never going to rise any higher. Being Princess of Wales is not going to be for me. Being Queen Consort is not going to be for me. She thought, right, well, I want to do my own way, and she had to rip Harry away. Fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, it was an easy thing for her to do because of his deep-rooted insecurities. He was already, I suppose, predisposed to thinking that way. That's not to take any responsibility away from him. He also, allowed this to happen. And, let's just say I am just so glad that Harry did not come out first, is one. Let's just be thankful that William isn't the spare, because can you imagine? Can you imagine? My goodness. Joe says there's no way Harry could have taken on the role that William has. No, I absolutely 100% agree. You are quite right. Elise says the logo is also a copy from some other organisation. Isn't it palm trees and parrots or something? Are they pigeons? I don't know what they are. She just rips things off. And of course, it's a rush job. They had to get this done so quickly. Right, I'm just seeing if I've missed any comments. Joe says, I loved Suits, but I couldn't watch it after she started her shenanigans. I've never watched it. I've never watched it ever. It's just that sort of program is not my jam. It's not my jam. She's got her jam. I haven't, that's not my jam. So no, I've never watched it, even before the shenanigans going on. Maxine, good morning. Who says she never seems to follow through with anything. The only thing that she has successfully followed through with is destroying family life. But then trying to base a brand around sort of family life. Oh, and sharing bits of the back of Princess Lilibet again. My goodness. Honestly, it's like either show the whole child or just don't show anything, to be quite honest. Kizzy says, as ever, is a brand in New York. Yeah, that's what I Googled. And I bet somebody high up in New York City, as ever, is going to be very off right now. Let's put it that way. Deb says she needs to work on herself. She does. She does. I think she should book herself into a 20-year retreat in the Himalayas. In the Himalayas. Absolutely. Oh no, the Mariana Trench. 10 years uninterrupted in the Mariana Trench. Chanson says, I literally cannot imagine that. No, Meghan as queen. Oh, she wishes. In her dreams. Melinda says, we get it, you don't like her, but if you haven't gotten your job offer yet from Kensington Palace... Oh, I've never applied for Kensington Palace, my lovey. Over the years that I've been doing this, there has been many a job at Kensington Palace come up that I could have applied for if I'd wanted. Never did, because, let's face it, I don't want it. I think, in a way, there are people that would thrive being in... being in the royal household. And then there are people that do better looking in on them and seeing how things are going on. There is no way that I would have been able to have carried on being a royal commentator, the first on YouTube ever to do it. I would never have been able to have done that from within, because there's non-disclosure agreements and all that kind of thing. So I was never, ever, ever after working for the palace. Sometimes it's nice to imagine what it would be like, for example, serving the king, or serving Queen Camilla, or working with Prince William, but in reality it would mean moving from where I live now, moving down to London, which would be quite isolating. I wouldn't have met my current fiance if I'd have done that. So no, I have never coveted working for the palace. I don't know if you will. I wouldn't want it anyway. I would turn it down. The Meghan and Harry bashing is old. It's not, though, because there are so many people that have either realised what Meghan was from the start, or people that have come to that realisation, that's me, because I'm a very trusting person, to be quite honest, and I did give Meghan the benefit of the doubt. I really did. In fact, I wouldn't even say I had a doubt. I actually, when she first came on the scene, I didn't see anything wrong with her at all. To be quite honest, I thought she was a breath of fresh air. All my videos on this are all here for people to go back and look at. I actually, I had nothing against Meghan. But there are people like me that have come to the realisation of what she is, can now see through the mask, see through the visage, the characterization, the actress, for what she is, not because of me, but because of what she has done. And Harry, their own actions, their own words, their own deeds have turned people that may have been supporters into people that no longer support because of what they've done. So I think, there are people that, and then there's the third camp of people that would support her and Harry no matter what. And I've never been a no matter what sort of person. I'm always, let's give someone the benefit of the doubt. If you haven't, let's be nice. But then if they show themselves and they show their true colours, then we can reform our opinions. And my opinion of Harry and Meghan has completely changed from, 5, 6 years ago. It is what it is, and it's not of my doing. I'm still the same. I'm still exactly the same. Well, no, I'm not exactly the same person. We all have personal growth. We all evolve. I'd say I'm not as naive as I was 6 years ago. My eyes have been opened, in part thanks to Meghan and Harry. But no, I think their opinions can evolve and change in reaction to what we see, what we hear. And Meghan's mask has most definitely slipped. Christine says the show will flop. I think it's already dead in the water, I'm afraid, for Meghan. Joe says, don't agree, Melinda. Elliot is saying what many of us think. Sugar alert. Oh, I don't have any sugar in my tea, loves. Afternoon to Deeboo. Hello, Deeboo. I love the name. If you don't like what he's got to say, just leave. It's not compulsory. I wholeheartedly agree. If you don't like what I've got to say, you don't have to stick around. Chanson says, Team Elliot here too for all the reasons we know. Thank you so much. Christine says, Elliot supported Meghan in the beginning, so did I. We were fooled. Yeah, I mean, there are trusting people, and then there are people that sort of are very suspicious from the get-go. Like I say, I'm more of I'll give someone the benefit of the doubt, and then, I don't like to judge a book by any cover. But then, if you read the pages and it's sour and nasty, then you change your opinion, don't you? Joe says, same. I got the heebie-jeebies after the wedding, seeing her in the coat with Harry. I thought I saw a look of triumph as she was thinking, plan executed. Well, we now know that that wasn't the only plan that she had, was it? She thought it was going to be a ripe old land of opportunity leaving that royal family, and it smacked her in a 15-inch nose. Canson says, I remember rushing to the Finley store in Carnby Street to buy the Meghan sunglasses. Oh my goodness. They are nice sunglasses, to be fair. Well, I'll let you off on the sunglasses. I don't think people are going to be... Look, when it comes to this as ever brand, this is what I'm predicting. I'm predicting that Meghan and Netflix will only have produced a limited amount of stock. So, maybe rather than, 100,000 units of this, 100,000 units of that, it could be a run of 500 of this, 500 of that, a small amount. They are never going to reveal what the run amount is. Probably enough to have, some sprinkled around, with some stores that it's going to be in, enough to appear online in an online store. And then once they've sold out, 500 of this, 500 of that to Meghan's ardent supporters, of which they probably will go out in their droves and buy Meghan's products, then they'll be able to claim, oh, we're sold out, what a success. When in reality, it'll be because the actual run of the products has been really small and limited, just to kind of see. Because I can't think that Netflix is going to produce 100,000 units of this or 100,000 of that with all the contention around Meghan. They are going to want to see exactly how she sells. So the Sussex squad lot, they will go out and they will buy her stuff. This is my prediction. She'll have sold out. Netflix will say, oh, what a rip-roaring success it is. The same with the With Love Meghan episode 1. Episode 1 will be a success. We all know. So get it into your heads now. Episode 1 is going to be a success because of people's curiosity. It doesn't mean that people watched it and liked it. The more telling numbers are episode 2, episode 3. What has been the drop-off? We all remember that with Meghan and Harry's Netflix reality TV show, episode 1 did incredibly well. By episode 2, I think it had lost half the viewers. By episode 3, it had lost even more. So when you take the numbers together as a whole unit, it flopped and it tanked. And I think that is what's going to happen. So even though Netflix and Meghan might try and spin it as a success, oh, episode 1, the most watched on Netflix, blah, blah, blah. You know, oh, we've sold out of all the products. The numbers don't lie. The data don't lie. And when Netflix come to look at the data, they'll know it's a flop. They'll know it's a flop. And my prediction is that it will not be recommissioned for series 2 of With Love, Meghan. And like I say, I don't think the numbers are going to add up for the sales either. They might sell 500 of this, they might sell 500 of that, but what are the repeat sales going to be? Who does Meghan appeal to? That's what everyone needs to ask. Because what once was a global, Commonwealth-wide appeal has now slipped. She's losing supporters left, right, and centre. Only those key ardent people that shout so loud on X and social media, you know who they are. We all know who they are. They will go out and buy. They will go out and scream success at every turn. But the data doesn't lie. And that show will not be recommissioned for a second series. And as ever, is going to flop. We all know that. Christine says, my hair looks nice. Well, I've had it recoloured yesterday. And I haven't hair dried it today. I've just combed it back and left it. So there's no product in it. I put a bit of hair care stuff in and that's it. Because after having my hair coloured, my hair was thirsty, girl. It was thirsty. So it needed a bit of something. So I put a treatment on it in the shower and then I just left it now. So I'm having a no heat in my hair day today. Lane says all 15 of them. Yeah, it's probably a run of about 15. Or do you mean her supporters, all 15 supporters? Debu says Netflix has just made a rod for their own back. Now they have said it's in partnership. Well, it's a very one-sided partnership, I think. You know whose fault it's going to be. And Christine says, me too, but I was kind of mad they left. Now I think it was the best thing. It's a headache for the royal family, I will say that, because having such a loose cannon that only knows how to make money off the back of the royal family must be a bit of a headache for the royal family, always wondering what he's going to do next. Is not an ideal situation. So from that point of view, it would be better to have him back in the royal fold. However, he's caused so much hassle, he's caused so much drama, he's caused so much hurt, that it would be, I think, impossible at this stage for that even to be a consideration. So you have to look at it from both points of view. It is a headache, but yes, I do think it is better that he's not in there at the moment, causing rot from the inside out. Christine says she's going to have pop-up stores in the mall. Oh my goodness, can you imagine Meghan standing outside, roll up, buy my jam, blah, 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 blah. My goodness. Anyway, I imagine most of you are going to be watching this on catch-up. I do hope that YouTube decides to push it out to people, because I've had the issue recently, which is why I've pulled back a bit from doing the royal videos, is because YouTube has not been pushing out my stuff. And it's so disheartening when you put something out that you think is really good, which is why I've gone back to live streams, to be fair, because it's quick, it's easy for me to do. If YouTube doesn't push it out, then I've not spent a load of time editing and uploading and all the rest of it. It's quick, it's easy, it's, it is what it is. So I'm hoping that YouTube is going to push it out to people, or else, let's be honest, it's more worthwhile my time and effort making videos for my second channel, which is fast becoming my first channel, Elliot and Matt Lifestyle. So if you if you do miss me on here, I don't talk about the royal family on my other channel, but I do property, lifestyle, travel, home vlogging, that kind of thing. So if you want to join me over there, it's Elliot and Matt with a double T, lifestyle. And if you type that into your search bar on YouTube, we will come up. So please feel free to subscribe and you will get to see what I get up to in our home. In fact, those are our Valentine flowers. Well, my Valentine flowers that Matt got me for Valentine's Day. So if you want to see what we got up to on Valentine's Day, Valentine's evening meal, all that kind of thing, head on over to my other channel and there are vlogs from 6-7 years ago, I think, on there now. So there's a whole wealth of content. If you want to get really stuck in and see how my life has evolved, then if you want to see real, authentic life, Meghan, then if you're watching, if you want to see real, authentic life, go check out my channel. Right, I'm off. So, thank you so much for watching. I will be back doing live streams. I think this is probably a really comfortable format for me to do. I started out doing my first in-person video talking about the royal family on this channel was a live stream. So I'm well versed in live streaming. I can roll with the punches, as you could see from the start of this video. I wasn't ready to go online, but I just made it work. I'm a professional and I like live streaming. I love the interaction with people. It's something I've really missed. So let's see if this is a way to go forwards. The only thing that I can't really do with doing live streaming on my phone is I can't really share screen or share pictures of what I'm talking about. That's the only downside of doing it this way. But thank you for watching and I will see you next time. So it really does help if you share, if you subscribe, if you like. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you like the video. Also, if it does give you a little survey at the end of the video, please, give it a good rating, or else YouTube will think it's a bad video and it won't send it out to anybody. Also, another top tip, if you want to get my channel up a little bit, if you're scrolling through and it recommends one of my videos, please click on it, even if you don't watch it all the way to the end. Just fast forward it or leave it running in the background because it tells YouTube that you like the channel and that it's not skippable. Thank you for watching. I will go now and I will leave you. I will finish my tea and get on with my day. A Meghan Markle free day. So, mwah to you all, my loves, and goodbye.